Everybody's been real nice.
Well, that's because you have big jugs. I mean, I want to squeeze them. Mama!
In 1994's Ace Ventura, pet detective Jim Carrey actually came up with many of the iconic elements. He wanted the character to have a bit more flair after reading the script, and then he came up with some ideas. He read the lines again, but with the voice of one of his in living color characters this time.
That's what turns me on about you. Your attention to detail.
He also threw in that same character's catchphrase, "Alrighty then," which would go on to become one of the primary highlights of the entire movie.
Alrighty then.
This is when he is being assigned his latest case, and he randomly says this line after which he makes a few awkward hand movements too. All of this was improvised by Carrey, and it went on to become the character's most iconic trademark. Everyone who knows Ace Ventura would easily recognize this line.
How would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Not really ready for a relationship, Lois, but thank you for asking.
Harry and Lloyd pick up a hitchhiker during their road trip in 1994's Dumb and Dumber.
My car died and I'm late for a luncheon.
I'm gonna go with my instinct on this one.
Little do they know that this hitchhiker is actually a hitman nicknamed Mental, played by Mike Starr, who plans to kill them. But little does Mental know, he just made the biggest mistake of his life.
Lloyd! You guys! Enough!
At one point during their car ride, Lloyd turns to Mental and giddily asks him,
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
He then delivers what is undoubtedly the most annoying sound in the world, screeching and wailing at the top of his lungs. This was an unscripted moment from Jim Carrey, as he wanted to make his character more entertaining to the audience. So, based on what the viewers are seeing, it's very possible that actor Mike Starr's enraged reactions here are unscripted and genuine too. This scene has become legendary in cinema, and is one of the best, most quoted parts of the film. It's hilarious, unscripted moments like this that made Dumb and Dumber one of Hollywood's greatest comedies.
We're looking for 2 oil boys who can grease us up before each competition.
There's a town about 3 miles that way. I'm sure you'll find a couple guys there. Do you realize what you've done? The town is back that way. 2 lucky guys are going to be driving around with those girls for the next couple months. Okay.
1994 was a good year for Jim Carrey, as The Mask had also released during this year. Considered to be amongst his most iconic roles of all time, the first transformation scene from Stanley Ipkiss to the mask was a revolutionary moment. After a few minutes of consideration, Stanley decides to wear the mask, since he believes that every person on Earth does wear some kind of metaphorical mask anyway. However, he did not expect to turn into a spinning green man with a quirky personality. Of course, Jim Carrey knew that he had to play this character with nuance and style, so he improvised a lot of the mannerisms that came with the mask.
It's party time! Why? Because
The most memorable one was using the word "smokin'" as he looked into the audience's eyes and said it with utmost confidence. It's a big moment in the movie, as this is the first time we are seeing the mask, which is why Jim Carrey wanted to make a very good first impression. Needless to say, he was very successful in that. In 2000, acclaimed director Ron Howard adapted Dr. Seuss's beloved Christmas story to the big screen. Jim Carrey's take on the Grinch has become iconic and a defining moment in the genre of Christmas movies. There's an amazing scene where the Grinch rips a tablecloth off a set table, but the silverware, glasses, and plates don't move an inch, and everything stays exactly where it is. It was such a perfect moment that this scene has been given the name, the magical tablecloth trick. The only strange thing about it though, was that it was a total accident. Carrey had never pulled off the tablecloth trick before, and he didn't intend for that to happen. So, in an improvised moment, the Grinch storms back to the table and rectifies his mistake, messing up all the neatly arranged silverware and plates. This was completely Carrey's idea, and everyone shooting the scene couldn't control their emotions, so they burst out laughing when they say it happened. The director loved it so much that he made sure to include this blooper as an actual scene.
No way!
we landed on the moon!
Dumb and Dumber had multiple scenes that were improvised by Jim Carrey.
That's a lovely accent you have.
Austria.
Austria! Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
And another one that the audience members loved had to do with mankind's space achievements. After arriving in Aspen, best buds Lloyd and Harry accidentally crack open a misplaced briefcase, revealing tons of money inside. In the blink of an eye, they go from being broke to rich. But even all the money in the world isn't enough to change their line of thinking. In the bar where Lloyd is drinking, a newspaper clipping of America's 1969 moon landing is hanging on the wall. On his way out of the bar, Lloyd passes by the clipping and freezes in his tracks. He then proceeds to exit the bar, declaring excitedly for all to hear,
We landed on the moon!
almost as if this monumental event had just happened yesterday. This, of course, wasn't a part of the script. Carrey spotted the newspaper clipping and saw a comedic opportunity. His improvised line has since become one of the movie's most iconic and funniest scenes.
Until the white man came.
The first Ace Ventura movie was such a big hit that a sequel was almost inevitable. As a matter of fact, it got released within a year of its predecessor. 1995's Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, brought Jim Carrey back as everyone's favorite pet detective. This time, his investigation brings him into the heart of Africa, where he must find a missing rare bat, which happens to be the one animal that Ace is actually afraid of.
Not so fast, Sally! Get it away!
After arriving in Africa, Ace meets the native Wachati tribe, who wants to locate the missing bat. His guide, Fulton Greenwald, played by Ian McNeice, explains they have lived in the same state for thousands of years. They did not know about disease until the white man came. In a brilliant, unscripted move, Ace sneezes directly on the native Wachati tribe as soon as Greenwald finishes that line, creating one of the most memorable and hilarious moments in the movie. It had everyone stunned on set. But luckily, nobody took offense to getting sneezed on by Jim Carrey.
Everybody's been real nice.
Well, that's because you have big jugs. I mean, I want to squeeze them.
Mama!
1997's Liar is one of Jim Carrey's funniest movies. Thanks to a magical birthday wish from his son, hotshot lawyer and professional liar Fletcher Reed finds that he suddenly can't tell a lie. This issue places Fletcher in some ridiculous and funny situations, including an awkward interaction with a woman who is quite curvaceous. Because he can't tell a lie, Fletcher is constantly spilling the truth to people, even when they don't ask for it. While in an elevator with this curvy woman, Fletcher anxiously jumps from one remark about her chest to the next, unable to stop himself. This interaction ends with an improvisation from Jim Carrey, where he says,
Mama!
This scene would probably never fly today, but back in 1997, it was pretty funny, and has its own separate fan base. And either way, his character does get some kind of punishment when the woman slaps him for his behavior.
Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again.
Directed by another comedy legend, Ben Stiller, 1996's The Cable Guy is about an eccentric cable installer named Chip, played by Jim Carrey, who becomes obsessed with and stalks his customer Steven, played by Matthew Broderick. This may not be Jim Carrey's best movie, but it does seem to have gained a cult following since its release. Also, it happens to feature one of his best unscripted moments. While the two friends are dining at medieval times, Chip asks Kevin for the skin of his chicken. He then proceeds to cover his face with chicken skin and says, "Hello, Clarice," referencing Anthony Hopkins' iconic Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs. Even Matthew Broderick cracks with laughter at this improvisation. It's a short moment that had immediate effect and is considered to be one of the best parodies of the movie. The funniest thing about this is that Hannibal Lecter never actually says that lines that Chip narrates after "Hello, Clarice" in the movie. Like, share, and subscribe if you liked this clip, and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay then, see you soon.